Welcome, my name is Merle Whitney. In session 2 of WSUS, we're going to be installing the WSUS role. First, we want to click on Manage. Then we want to click on Add Roles. Next, we're doing a role-based, so we click Next. We're selecting the server. Next. We want to scroll down the screen to look for the role Windows Server Update Services, and we click the checkbox Windows Server Update Services. Before we add the features that come in by default, let's look at the description. The description reads, Windows Server Update Services allows network administrators to specify the Microsoft updates that should be installed. Create separate groups of computers for different sets of updates, and get reports on the compliance levels of the computers and the updates that must be installed. Along with the role, we have the services that are required, and we need to click on Add Features. Then we click on Next. Click on Next a second time. And before we move on again, let's look at the description. Windows Server Update Services allows administrators to manage the download and installation of updates from the Microsoft Update website to the local network. Things to note. You must have at least one WSUS server configured on your network, and this server must be connected to the Microsoft Update site, because this server will have to synchronize updates with the Microsoft Update site. And then you can have another server that you will configure, and this server will be configured to get updates from the Microsoft site. We want to click on Next. And here we have two options. We have the WID option, which is the internal database. We have WSUS services. If you want to use another database, you might have a SQL database, then you can choose that. But you need here to make sure that the WID database, which is the Windows internal database, and services are both checked. Then we want to click Next. And here we have an option. If you want your updates to be stored in a location, then you have to choose a path on your server. Or if you don't want to store the updates on the server, you can remove the checkbox. And when you remove the checkbox, your updates will be automatically stored on the Windows Update site. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, when you uncheck the box, remember the updates will not be stored locally. They are only downloaded from Microsoft once they are approved. But this will help you save hard drive space. So if your intention is to save hard drive space, then you might want to leave the box unchecked. For this session, we'll just leave the box unchecked, and we click Next. And install. You might have to restore the destination server after the installation. So let's click Restore the destination server automatically if required, and click Yes, and the install is going to go through. We can see the install starting installation at this point. And we're going to pause the video while the installation goes on until it's completed. We can see on this page that our installation has succeeded, but we need to do something else. We need to do the post-installation task. So we're going to click on post-installation task. And we have to wait for the server to be configured. It says here, please wait until your server is configured. So we're going to pause again until the server is configured. At this point, we can see that our configuration has been successfully completed, and you want to click on Close. This is the end of session 2. In our next session, WSUS 3, we will be looking at configuring the SUS server.